pretty much everything that can happen happens on Julian's Bridge. I think we were all, I'm just saying that because of feedback that I received, me included, are not in favour of putting traffic lights or a one-way kind of, cars pull up, go one way, traffic lights go red, they stop, cars come the other way. That is not something that we want to do. What we want to do is to put a bridge that people that are on foot or on cycle can use to avoid the bridge altogether. We know that there's more and more events happening. We know that there's more and more people cycling. We know that the pyramid for Cork students is heads up to QE, so there's going to be more and more children going that way. We want to reduce traffic down Julian's Road anyway. So we've been putting this, we've been putting this about for quite some time. That's culminated in meetings on site with Dorset Highways and various councillors, where we've been very vociferous about putting traffic lights here is going to be a really big problem. However, Dorset Highways modelling suggests that actually queues would be reduced by having one-way traffic lights. So, at the last meeting, we got to the point where something has to break this deadlock. We were fortunate that Heritage England had more or less come back to us and said, we prefer option one, being a footway, in other words, having one-way traffic and a footway on the bridge, basically paint, constructed so that people could walk on it, 24/7. However, their words were, if this proves to be robustly refuted due to evidence, then our next favoured option would be 3, a downstream footway and cycle bridge, which is what we're looking for. So where we've landed with speaking to Dorset Highways is to propose that we do a trial for 6 to 8 weeks of the on-off scenario. They will gather the data and present it back to us. That'll include air quality data, queuing data, time to get from A to B data, all the data you can imagine. We will obviously, I probably post it, read the rough on social media, so I'll provide that feedback. And we will arrive back once it's taken out, review those findings. My sense will be it will be catastrophic in its implementation, and we will move then forward with option 3, a cycle bridge. I guess this is a way of not continuing to kick the can down the road. It's demonstrably trying to move forward. We did raise the possibility of a pedestrian crossing, i.e. that cars free flow, and then somebody comes out and wants to cross the bridge, they press both sides stop or a side stops, or however it works, and they go over. Dorset Highways said that could not happen due to a various amount of reasons that I can't go into because I can really fully understand them. But there's certain, it is in this country, for example, I'll give you an example because we're even looking at things like traffic islands. Now, to put an island in the middle of a carriageway is £100,000 in this country. Even Councillor Vicky who was at the meeting, just couldn't believe. But that unfortunately, the cost of that is significant in this country because there's an awful lot of other infrastructure you have to put in, lighting, chevrons have to have be able to go a certain meterage, otherwise you can't fit them in. They have to be a certain standard. Beacons have to put in. There's a whole load of things that need to go in. So for the trial, this is the easiest way of being able to do the trial and to gain some demonstrable feedback. So I admit even I read this and think it looks a bit. I'm not saying use the word weird, but it looks a little bit contra to what we want to do, but it is a step on the path of us being able to achieve what we want to do, which is to protect people and also try and reduce traffic in and around and through that particular area. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, Chair. I'm here as the chair of Panfield Shepherd Parish Council. I think Councillor Wheeler has summed up that meeting excellently, and we share exactly his view. to free this impasse, let's do the trial. We think the trial will fail too. I do have concerns about the tail into High Corner, to be fair, in that 6 week period, but it's the only way of getting to the next step. So our parish council have obviously bought at half of Julian's Road. So we're one of the 5 parish councils involved with conservation. We totally support what the council would have said about.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak?
No, I don't think really I'd say we welcome something to move forward. However, I think I share your opinion that it will be catastrophic and access along the road and crossing a road will be severely compromised during the trial.
Thank you. So, Member Brown, could I ask, during the trial, have they talked about people trying to cross Julian's Road? Is there going to be a crossing put in as part
Not
of
during the trial, no.
No. So people will still have that problem.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I guess the answer, if I may through the chair, is that we don't fully know. But if you stop one line of traffic and there's a pause before the other one comes over, there's an opportunity for us. So no one really knows. We have to do it, and you know, I'll be very clear with Dorset Highways. If this gets catastrophic too quick and creates a health and safety issue, then we'll have to ask them to pull it out, and then the data will be self-evident. Any other comments? Yes, Councillor Barclay.
Thank you, Chairman. Local government never moves very quickly in this country, and I've been dealing with this for nearly 10 years now. The traffic lights, whether it's temporary or otherwise, isn't the issue here. It will be catastrophic for the traffic movement around the town. It will gridlock that part of the town. Without traffic lights on evenings, the traffic will back up from Julian's Bridge all the way to Lake Gates. It's a ridiculous situation. What needs to happen is that the Environment Agency need their feet put into the fire. The Environment Agency need to move. They've been responsible on this. There would be the ability to put a wooden type bridge with boardwalk downstream from it. When we first requested the Environment Agency about that idea, they said we couldn't touch the island that's been created downstream of the bridge. But that's what needs to happen. That would be the cheapest option for the public purse. And I can't support even a temporary traffic lights going up this bridge because of the disastrous effect it will have on the town, undoubtedly, just because of the sheer amount of traffic movement across that bridge and on that road. And I've had many conversations over the years with officers, and there's always been a reluctance to put the traffic lights on the bridge. And it's the Environment Agents that need to come to the table with a more constructive attitude than we have done today.
Thanks very much. Anybody else? Okay, on to the proposal.
Yeah, I mean, I'll propose that we move ahead with the with requesting the trial for a time box period with the data feedback in order for us to move this forward.
All those in favour? All those against? Any abstentions? Two against. Two against. Okay.
No absence, sorry.
Now, okay. Okay, you've been welcome to stay, but I know you can get it. Thank you very much. Thanks very much. So, item 5 on the agenda, so we've got a lot of reports. When we said that we normally go around the table, when we go around the table, it's good if you speak about where you've got an official link, okay, rather than just sort of general comments, really. So if you've got a link with, say, kind of info or whatever, just updating on that particular link. But we haven't got any Dorset accounts. Oh, sorry, County Bartlett, you go first.
Thank you, Chairman. The only thing I want to report is about the local plan, give an update on the local plan. So there's been some misinformation that's gone out within social media and within the press, which is a little bit frustrating. So the closing date, as you're probably all well aware, is the 31st of this month at midnight. The reason for that being is that the third-party provider that we were using to do the consultation with apparently had their biggest server on it, which wasn't able to cope, which is why we've had to extend the deadline so that everybody has the opportunity to make their views known about the local plan. We will take emails and continue to take letters as well around that if it's proven difficult to get onto the consultation site, the local plan. The local transport plan, LTP4, that ended last week. In terms of landowner's permission, there's been a lot of talk about this. The government guidance on developing a local plan and the National Planning Policy Framework document both clearly state that the local planning authority, statutory planning authority, has to include all possible land within its consideration for its consultation document in order to try and meet the housing need that the government has set. And that's done with local plans throughout the country. What doesn't normally happen is that there's such a backlash from landowners where land has been included in the consultation document has happened this time. And I fully understand that. It's a lesson learned. We need to do a better comms messaging in future to inform people this is what's done. It isn't people that sold out within their communities. This is part of the normal process that is used for the local plan. When we submit the local plan to the examiner, before we even get to that stage, that land that is not in there with the landowner's permission will indicate they do not want it to be in the document. That will be filtered out. That will be taken out of the document that finally gets approved to go to the examination, because legally you can only put land in there that's in there with the landowner's permission. So the process that we'll go through with the local plan, once all the consultations are in, the officers will write up the draft plan. So at the moment it's a consultation document at the moment. They'll write the draft plan. That will then go to cabinet probably in June next year. Then we'll go to full council. And then after that, there's a short consultation period in August of next year, where the members of the public get to make their submissions again in that consultation. It's then fine tweaked by the officers, the document, and we submit that to the examiner in December 26th, hopefully for adoption by mid-27, actually with fingers and toes and everything crossed, hopefully. Presently, we will lose our 5-year land supply as of the 31st, and that means we're now open to speculative development all the way until we get a local plan adopted.
Yeah, it's very helpful, Joe. That's what it's coming from. So we'll go to Councillor Nash first.
Nothing to report, Chair.
Councillor Sandy.
Attended the mayor's quiz yesterday.
You well?
Yes, very good. Well done, Councillor Billingsley. Last week attended the committee meeting with the Twinning Association. That's it. Thank you.
Councillor Hector.
I had a community speed watch on Cranbourne Road last week with a few of the other councillors, and it was very fruitful. We sort of changed our timings that we did stuff, and we were there for an hour session. 711 cars went by in that 1 hour, so it shows you how much that road is used. It's incredible traffic, and it was quite fruitful. So we will be continuing for next month.
Thank you. Councillor Roberts.
Well, the only thing I can think of, Chairman, is Wimborne in Bloom. They had a very successful duck race. It went off very well, and we're busy now planning for the flowers in Wimborne next year. And I must say, on a personal note, that I think the begonias have been absolutely magnificent, and they still are outside here. So that's about all, actually.
Thank you. I know on a Monday morning, lots about the town, you see those Wimborne and Blue volunteers cleaning up the town. I just think that's fantastic, actually. So in terms of mayors, so I've been to various meetings. At the weekend, we did the guide dogs had a competition, so I started that off, and then I bought the first poppy of Wimborne from the military people. On Sunday, there was the railway exhibition at the Arndale. It's all over. We sort of took for 35. So I have to say, life is quite busy, but enjoyable. That's what we've done.
So I've been trying to sort out some obsolete IT equipment for the RAF. I've just notified them that there is actually a collection at the Wimborne Community Centre on the 1st of November. So I pointed them in that direction, so hopefully that will be able to kind of enable them to get rid of their obsolete IT equipment. So that's good news in terms of us being able to help. With my other hat on as bandmaster, we're fully ready to go for the Remembrance weekend. So we shall have viewers here in town to the last post in the valley, on Sunday.
Right, thank you. Councillor Brown.
Thank you. I'm the representative on Walford Mill. There hasn't been any meetings since I last reported, but they are continuing holding their once a month makers markets around the place. And the cafe is doing well, but a little bit busier. And they're working hard on trying to get the event side of things going. I also, this last Sunday, with another volunteer, conducted our second tour of Wimble Cemetery, looking at the Commonwealth War Grave Commission commemorations there, and it went well. Thank you. Came along as well. And it might just be the model that we might want to pursue in future of trying to get people to know more about the cemetery. So we'll talk some more about that.
I came on the first talk, it was very good. And on Watford Mill, just to update you, we organised a civic day where all the mayors come, you're all invited. And so at the moment, what we're thinking is going to Kingston Lacey in the morning, for a special tour, and then a little pickle for lunch, and a bit in Watford Mill. Hopefully it's sort of practical session. So we're trying to promote it. Councillor Wine.
Nothing really to report. I went to the cemetery event, which was outstanding, really informative, really exciting actually. And I came to the quiz, yes.
Even with the code,
Nothing.
no.
That's report, Chairman.
Councillor Jack.
Thank you, Chairman. I met with our local BCP councillors on the 9th of October. I put around a note about that, but it was quite interesting to have an informal chat with them. I think they were quizzing me as much as I was quizzing them, if I'm being honest, particularly about how town councils operate, because I think BCP is going through this situation of trying to see whether they develop local councils. The other thing mentioned, which I would want to mention now, is the Sacred Places scheme. And I think what came through to me is one of the challenges for a larger authority introducing Sacred Places is to get it out to all the different areas. So in terms of the scheme that Councillor Hector and others are hoping to introduce here, the town council will have a key role in keeping it live and going. You can give that locality to it. So it was quite interesting to discuss.
Well done on what you did on the sports forum.
Sorry?
Well done on what you did on the sports.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah.
Anything you want to say on that?
We're in an interesting and challenging situation. I met earlier tonight with some of the people involved in that. We have things that we would like to progress. We feel we're having a meeting of the wider forum. It's all very informal, it's its own forum, it has no constitution yet, on the 10th of November. But from that, we hope we would then be able to go ahead and get on with stuff. But because we're not constituted, it's hard to apply for grants, deal with money, move things forward. I'm hoping we can find a way through that in the short term. If not, it could mean there's a 3-month lull while we try and go through the process of applying to become a CIO. And we cannot be totally sure that we would achieve that. I think we would, but we can't be totally sure. But if we're trying to do things for the town culture, that gives us an interesting challenge, is what I would say. And I find it quite frustrating. I'd like to be able to know, no, I want to get there, and that's the way I'm going to go. For this at the moment, it's hard to be too sure how that will pan out. But good, thank you to the Mayor for helping us get pledges of £1,000 towards the development of the website. So that is, in some ways, I'll put it, it's an assurance really for us that actually what we're doing makes sense to some people.
It was a bit of a head on the block, really, wasn't it? Because I went to a meeting and they were talking about setting up a website, nearly £1,000. And I said, I know some people will help. And 2 emails later, we got £1,000.
Exactly. So a lesson to be learned there, Chairman, is to block Councillor Jeff Hart from your email box.
Councillor Billington. Okay, so we go on to item
Nothing heard at all.
Councillor Wheeler.
Yeah, Dorset Police are meant to provide a presence. They've only done one in the last 2 or 3 meetings. Can I suggest that we write to them to remind them that something.
To PCC or to local police?
I think the local police first, and if there's no response to the police.
But the inspector can monitor. Okay, thank you. So item 6, full council minutes, 3rd of September 2025. Are you all happy about that? Good minutes? Yeah. You want to sign those? Keith those? Seconder? Councillor Brown, all those in favour? Okay, item 7, committee minutes and working group notes. So we've got a list there, I'm not going to read them through, but does anyone want to raise anything from all those notes and meetings and, Councillor Roberts.
Firstly, recreation leisure and buildings, I wasn't there, so I don't want to vote on that.
Right.
And the last item, HR. I went to that because I am an elected member of the town council, but I am not allowed to sit and know what is going on, what is being discussed. And I'm very sorry, but I do not agree with a quarter, 4 people making recommendations for a full council decision.
Thank you. Any other comments on that or Councillor Brown?
No, I'm not going to comment on
Councillor Richmond?
that.
Councillor Nash, yeah.
Just to clarify there, I think Anne means that she wasn't allowed in the committee meeting during exempt business, not the rest of the time where she was there as a member of the public.
Yeah. Councillor Leah.
Just to update on the River Allen talk stream, I gave a talk on the work that we're doing to look after the River Allen to the Planet Wimborne Festival. It was a very, very good and well-attended evening, and a lot of very, very clever people there. So the River Allen is in good hands if we can push forward some of the proposals that we're looking forward. Very positive. That was.
Going to the Planning Environment Committee, minutes haven't been completed by me.
Okay. I read this morning actually a summary of the Green Festival that happened, and it's a really positive thing. They got 7 more people this year than last year. They got 400 speaks to listen to the main speaker. So congratulations to them. Any other points? Councillor Billington.
Just surprised to see that the Red Cock Recreation Working Group had just Councillor Jaggs and Officer Brooks. Is that just?
That's good. Yeah, it was, yeah.
I suppose the working group, you've got no rules about it, have you?
The terms of reference for,
Just yeah.
it was that sort of time, summer, wasn't it?
Councillor Barker.
Yeah, meeting clashes, Chair, I couldn't make it.
Okay. Okay, so those are all for noting. Any other comments? Thank you. It just shows how busy we are with the number of working groups. Recommendations, item 8. The planning and environment submit an application for 20 mile per hour scheme on Newland Road. I think Kevin's going to just explain where we are.
So, planning environment, we were asked, from the, members of the public, particularly Judy's Road and also the general, we could get a 21 hour scheme in Julian's Road, and if it's agreed tonight, then I can go ahead and apply in the same way I've done for the last 2 in the town. The right, please, and I'm sure Councillor will correct me if I'm wrong, it's from Pike Corner to the first national speed limit over the bridge, which is basically where the lay-by starts.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's, I can post it, I'm happy.
And I'll second that. All those in favour? Anybody against? Any abstentions? Abstention 2. Okay. And then 8, second point really, draft response to the Dorset Council local plan consultation. So we've got to get a final copy to DC on Wednesday morning. Councillor Gillen, anything on that?
No, I put the all together as much as I could, and I think it's grown significantly to public town budgets.
I mean, I was listening to what Councillor Bartlett said earlier, the date I've been given from DC is midday tomorrow, or midnight tomorrow. I've asked for confirmation for tomorrow either way, so I've got the last draft copy, which I've promulgated a couple of times in the last couple of weeks, and just asking for some input with regards to certain areas which fortunately Councillor Richmond provided. So all I'm going to do, if it gets approved tonight, is obviously populate that plan and send it. Obviously, if it's true that I can get a bit more time, that'd be great. At the moment, I'm working on a midday deadline tomorrow. Councillor Bartlett.
Chairman, yeah, if it helps the Bedford Town Clerk, then if he emails the planning team at Dorset Council requests for additional time, will be granted additional time. All parish and town councils will be given extra time if they need it, because the end consultation period might not fall within their calendar of meetings. Thank you.
Okay, is that good?
Yeah, that's good. It gets approved, yeah.
Okay. From you asked me, from what I've read since, I'm happy with all of the things that have come since. I think that this is a good document to propose. Something else. Okay. Proposer? Councillor Brown, sorry.
Yeah. Am I right in saying that we've not actually seen the latest version of that?
No, it's been promulgated a couple of times over the last couple of weeks.
On the agenda items for this evening's meeting, I didn't see it in the list, and it was noted that it would be to follow.
Okay, well, I didn't write the agenda, but I have sent the emails out saying this is it, this is the last one, and asking any more input.
Okay.
A couple of times over the last week and a half.
Okay, so, Councillor Brown voting and Councillor Ryan seconding, so all in favour? Anybody against? Anybody abstaining?
One.
Thank you.
One.
Okay, A2 is a motion from Councillor Wheeler, and it's Julian's brief, we've done that. Okay, so item 9, Wimbledon Cemetery. So we can make the activity report, 1st July, 3rd September. Everyone noted that? Secondly, consider the cemetery management plan, appendix 18. We need to propose separate vote on this. Any comments?
I can put that appendix 18 in half if they want. It's available. Okay, so so if I can just read the blurb then, the introduction to it, so maintenance plan. In June 2025, a complaint was received from a member of the public, grass cutting at Wimborne Cemetery, basically a headstone was damaged. The matter was discussed at all council on 29th of July, and as a result, that the cemetery manager review the existing grounds maintenance plan on site with the grounds manager and cemetery grounds manager and report back to the full council. Following a meeting with the cemetery manager, grounds manager and cemetery grounds manager, the following plan proposed for consideration and adoption, which is what you see up there. Just basically due care and diligence and keep skirting around these stones. So that's put that as a proposed second amendment.
Okay, so we've got 3 options.
Good question, sorry.
No. So we've got 3 options. I propose option 1, where we make a formal apology, clear it a long time ago, and we will waive any fees.
That's another section, right, next item.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this is just the management plan. Yeah, the next one we can do.
Okay, so I propose we accept the management plan. Anybody second that? Councillor Nash, all those in favour?
So who seconded, please?
Councillor Nash.
Thank you. Is that all in favour, yeah?
All in favour, anybody against? 1?
In favour, sir.
Oh, everybody's in favour, yeah?
In favour, okay.
Okay, now you're on.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. 9, Roman 3, please. That's, right.
So this is appendix 19. Yes, Councillor Wheeler?
So I met with, Rebecca today, and went through this with her. Where we've landed, it's not a nice situation for anybody to be in. It happened prior to an awful lot of us, being involved. So from that perspective, it's something that we can't hold people to account for. However, my proposal would be along the lines of that we send a formal apology from Wimbledon Minster Town Council for this error and assure them that it won't happen again. I think that would, from what I've heard, go an awful long way to diffusing this situation. And then offer them the option one, which is, I believe, to put another row, which allows them then to have a co-located spot with their family group, and we would do that waiving any administrative fees. So I think that will then diffuse the situation. The sense I get is that could be enough to make this situation as right as it can be. They obviously have the other option, which would be to approach the Diocese of Salisbury, have an exhumation of the incorrectly placed person, which throws up all sorts of things. I don't think they want to go there. I think they want an acknowledgement that an error has been made and an apology is incoming, and then a route to keeping their family co-located. I think if we can do that, I think we will have done the right thing, which I think is what we should do. Councillor Richmond.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, I agree 100% with Councillor Wheeler. And I think the emphasis should be on the creative solution of adding the extra row. The apology should be secondary. You can't apologise for something like that, really. But you can work constructively towards perhaps improving the situation. I think that ought to be the emphasis.
Councillor Nash.
Yeah, I agree that option one is obviously the best option if the complainant is willing to go down that road. Can I emphasise that we really need to make sure that we have changed the processes and really established with the customer that has happened?
So that would be in the letter. We've now digitised these. It can't happen again. So they have taken steps.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, so you want to make a proposal, Councillor Wheeler?
Yeah, I'm going to propose that.
That's seconded by Councillor Richmond. All those in favour? Anybody against? Any abstentions? Thank you. Next is item 10. So appendix 20, which is Dorset Council PPC draft framework for developing the town master plan. The town clerk has suggested that it refers the planning and environment committee, who will then report back to us.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
Appendix 21, which is the draft devolution and partnership working policy. Again, she suggests we refer to the financial committee and report back to full council. Is that right, Kevin?
Yes, that's correct too. Yeah.
Okay. So we just need to know that. Anybody want to weigh in? Questions or Councillor Nash?
So just we're involved and talked to them about this, but it seems that the PCC seems to be a little bit like touch with this the clerk's comments on the document, sort of make that very clear. I think it's a very good opportunity to try to engage with county and get this process in a nice shape to be able to do. We're taking things out of their hands, and we really should try to not forcefully, but nicely point out that that's a very nice thing we're doing, and they should want us to do that. And I think the clerk's comments on that are good.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, so 10.2 is the correspondence from the Police and Crime Commissioner. Council, do you want to lead on this? No, any questions? Just noting that.
Can put it up if you wish. It's just been noted, as you say.
I mean, I've simply asked the question, if, you know, we have a building which is a police station, so to then bring a mobile one just seemed a bit odd, but they've answered they've answered my challenge. So, you know, that's all I'm saying. It comes, I've seen it gets very well, swamped by members of the public. So from a visibility standpoint, it can never be a bad thing to see police in the centre of town. So I'm not massively against it. I just.
Any comments? Okay, and then item 11, future meetings, all of them there. Please note the climate action working group for 11th November will be rescheduled. Future motions, if anyone's got a motion for the next meeting, please vote 10 o'clock no.
Chairman, can I just say the sports forum is on the 10th of November?
10th, what, sorry?
10th of November.
10th of November, not November. It was the 10th. Okay. There we go. Only Monday. 7.